shit, I just rolled 3 16s in a row.
But when?
I need a crack of Monopoly to get some more D6s. Gonna need them.
Oh, my head.
I'm gonna crack open my sorry so I can get some more ones.
Okay.
Alrighty. So is everyone okay? So we're all here. Everyone.
I think so.
Yes. No. Maybe.
I think so.
Okay. So in the aftermath of the night at Tilbrook, where you were confronted, the party was confronted with basically an undead legion of undead critters from the forest. The town is left seeing the break of dawn through, again, that murky, heavy fog that still surrounds the town and the prevailing area. Much of the walls and defenses are tattered and torn down from the assault. Several villagers lie dead after the events last night, a few of those that had stood guard, as well as a few in the homes that were broken into by the various critters. I don't know if you guys wanted to resume immediately after the events of the night, kind of going into daybreak, or if you wanted to take the long rest and then resume it in the morning.
Well, I think that we did make mention of, like, Evian had taken the Mamazon bag, and then there's the matter of this specter that...
Yeah, I gotta talk to
he
it.
summoned us. Yeah, that was also... Okay, so I guess we're just, like, kind of picking up, like, right then and then from the night of...
Yeah, it goes away after a long rest, so gotta talk to it first.
Okay. Okay, then never mind. We'll pick up... The night is still... I mean, it's very late into the night. Torches are still weakly trying to keep the darkness and this fog at bay. Villagers are starting to warily. Many are still terrified and hiding in their homes. A few are starting to try and pick up the pieces of the damaged homes, damaged area, but I mean, for the most part, they're too afraid to even get near the walls at this point. Even the ones that were standing guard, having seen what they saw that night, are cautious about getting near them. But, yeah. You guys survived the night, though it seems though the druid thing, creature, person that haunted the night has left with a vague threat of, you've survived this night, but can you survive another?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with no, Chief.
It's simple. We stop the night.
Oh, Jesus.
Just destroy the moon. That's all that needs to happen.
Yeah, it's like that cobalt thing. Look what I can do. Just replace the sun with darkness.
Oh no. Well, Zidane is just leaning up against the well and idly picking at it, where not only was he scorched by hellfire, but also, well, there's a gigantic rent through his armor.
Andros is over, standing next to Marani and Evian, and staring warily at this ghosty specter thing. He shakes his head and looks at Marani. Right, you go after your boy toy. We've got things to do around the town.
Oh my.
She just gives you a really pointed look, but she doesn't say anything.
And then he turns to Evian. Evian, come on, help me. We've got to round up the dead and get them burned before whatever this is brings them back. We probably should get the villagers too. Let them say their final respects.
You're gonna have to type.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to type, sorry.
You're fine.
I pray there is a cleric nearby.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Say no more, say no more.
A bit of a odd statement, I guess, or leery statement coming from one who does not seem to pray anymore. Or those that he prays to are not open to such suggestions.
Prays only to his own hubris.
Well, let's hope there's a cleric, otherwise the alternatives might be messy. Meanwhile, Saul Treegrown.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I remember correctly, he still has his human-like appearance. Like, so, we have a specter, which basically is like a ghostly, kind of transparent person.
Yep.
Is it like a generic ghost look, or is it like more unique of like, oh yeah, that's Saul Good. I'm gonna call
He's-
Saul Goodman so many times.
He's
Saul's face.
he's got the look. Anyway, no, it's kind of a blend. It's not so like sharp and crisp in definition like a like a lingering spirit would be. It seems like it's kind of a bit modeled, though some definition does come out where you can kind of get the like his like you would like it's something you could potentially recognize if you were to see his living visage or visage. But it seems a little bit blurry around the edges. You can tell he's wearing some kind of robes with markings of are some kind of arcanic order, though seems to be kind of, again, very druidic in look, you could guess, in terms of the like leaf patterns and such. But any finer details to that are kind of blurred out or even fading as it gets nearest the edges of his form.
Okay, I'm gonna try giving it some telepathic speech and open up with Saul Treegrown. Is that you? The one I've read about?
Yes. How does one know of me?
I've read of your powers. Immense of the wilds out here. How would you turn into that bear thing?
A curse upon us, upon my brothers.
Chosen or forced on you?
Was a trick or an accident. I cannot say for sure. We only tried to do what was right.
What did you try to do?
We helped the people here once, long, long ago.
With a proficiency in history, would I be able to know how long ago this was?
You can roll a history, but I will say it'll be a normal roll. This is not an event that almost anyone
Ooh.
outside of this would know.
We're not having a good time on that one.
Too cryptic and vague, perhaps, for even you to kind of gauge.
Well, at least we're getting that out of the way. Long ago. Is there a cure for this? Do you know?
We have tried. We could not find anything. Though now, Carr seems to have believes he has found one.
Art? Was that the voice we were hearing?
Perhaps, yes.
Powerful druidic force? Or druidic person? Is that who Karth is?
He is. He was a brother. A friend. Though his voice that calls me now, I no longer recognize. Filled it is. Much sorrow. Much anger.
The voice you hear now, is it that of a woman?
No. It is the same voice as Karst, but it is not him I remember.
Were you ever able to converse with a cleric or a wizard to see if this curse could be removed?
No. Members tried. They were shunned, imprisoned, or killed.
What can we do to help you and this town? What should be done?
I do not know the state of this world anymore. All I know is the sorrowful voice that pulled me back into it. I would help my friend, but I could. But I am not of this world anymore.
Absalom is going to turn over to Morani and Zidane. Since it's a telepathic speech, it's basically men who stare at ghosts now.
You've just been staring very intently at this form, and it's just been staring intently back at you as the world moves around.
Hey, Zidane, Morani. Verbally speaking. Do you have any questions for Saul? You too, Thamor.
Ronnie.
Marani just kind of shrugs her shoulders and crosses her arms. I'm sure you have this well in hand.
Did I get the
Seymour does
impression-
have one question.
Yes, Thamor?
Ask him what happened all those years ago to the town I used to be in.
Back to the telepathic speech. Absalom will continue. You told me all those years ago that there was something that transformed you. Do you remember specifically what happened during that time? Whether it was a dark ritual that caused the curse, someone touching you, a town destroyed, perhaps.
We tried to intervene in the affairs of the non-order town besieged. They were waiting, expecting us.
They
We
being the
made-
town or another force?
Perhaps the invader, the ones laying siege.
Hmm. The ones who laid siege. Were they the ones to afflict you with the curse?
No. They... only enabled it. Our Druidic order was one of a primal sort. Close, very sure.
And where is your order located now?
The Spectre kind of looks about. I don't know. Before I died, Karst and I were the last. The others fell in turn. Some fell to those who tried to get help from. Others lost battle with themselves.
What do you see right now? Do you see a town in the middle of the night? Do you see an ocean of ethereal spirits? Or something else?
This time, I see a town bathed in the fog of undeath.
You cannot tell from the time of what you can see where your druidic order lay, where the origin of the curse was.
Right, I do not understand the question.
Your afflicted druidic order assaulted this town, and we want to be able to stop them.
The order, not Karst did. Karst did what he thought might be good for the order, or maybe for revenge. Maybe he's finally given in. He- The Spectre looks about, points vaguely southward.
Okay.
His voice emanates from there. I no longer hear it, but it drove my mind into a frenzy. Clawed my way out of earth where I was buried, woken in a form I thought I had shed. He again kind of looks around and stares blankly at Sedan. It seems our legacy still will cause more pain
why we need your help. We want to stop the suffering. Is there anything you want to tell me that is important to you?
There is nothing I want to tell you. I am here at your command, not of my own. I was here at the command of Kars, not of my own.
Absinthoss, I think I do have a question.
Yeah, Slot turns around.
Should I be worried about... He holds up his arm.
Yes, the timetable of it.
I suppose.
Turns back to Saul. Continuing to speak mentally. This legacy of yours, as he gestures towards Zidane, his hand towards Zidane. Do you know how fast or slow it acts?
It varies from person to person. There's a primal component to it. It will be tempting. It will be fierce.
What
Do you
did
know
he
of
say?
any churches or wizardly order nearby that could potentially remove this curse? Ones that shunned you, perhaps?
You ask for locations of places years past. I know not what stands anymore.
How many years ago did this transformation occur? When you stopped controlling yourself? When Kars took over?
I am afraid that is not the same answer. Kars did not take control. Not until what he is now. And when I lost control,
Which came first? The voice or the loss of control?
the loss of control was long ago. The voice, Kars calling me back, was but a few days ago.
Do you remember what happened between the curse and before Kars calling you?
No.
Were you ever yourself between the curse? Was the curse a temporary change or something more permanently afflicting with no
It
recourse?
was a struggle. I don't know when I fully succumbed to it.
Hmm. Absas just looks down thinking pensively of all this information. He's thinking to himself, ah, crap. The only solution's gonna be... that he can see. The only solution's gonna use the void to remove the curse. That's not good. By the way, if other people want to have a spotlight, I'm all for it.
Looks like there's a bit of a side thing going on with Andros and Vian and Alston.
I'd actually like to get something in. If if you're done, I mean, I don't want to step on your toes.
Yeah, I'm basically done for the moment. I'm kind of... I don't know how to send this... Like, I'm not done with him, but I don't know how to, like, continue the conversation.
He's just gonna watch you sleep tonight.
How
I
long
want to
does
be
it
the
Wait
first...
until he doesn't go in until you complete the long rest. He's gonna stand by your bedside.
Wouldn't it be the first time, unfortunately.
Yo, this is dark. I was muted for so long. Dude, if
Absent
he
Thoughts
watches
is-
you while you sleep, oh, dude.
Absent Thoughts has severe emotional damage.
Emotional
Damage. Which class would be the best therapist?
A
Bard.
cleric
Bard.
or a bard? Yeah.
Bard.
Barbarian. Just enter rage.
Ah, yes!
Salty and I got the right idea.
Nice.
Just keep hitting him until the trauma stops.
Anyways, Marani, you have the floor.
Yeah, thank you. Absinthoth, do you mind if Zidane and I have a moment alone?
I think that's more than reasonable. Do I need to move, or are you moving?
It doesn't matter.
Well, for the sake of... I'm gonna move.
Oh, okay. Oh,
your
good. Thank you.
Take your specter and get out of here, dude. What the?
Yeah, there's a sidelong glance and looking between his arm and Absinthoth. Zidane is not really wanting to move right now.
Yeah.
The
I'm
snake
basically
just
gonna go to the edge of
follows
town.
Absinthoth.
Marani just looks at Zidane with a really apologetic expression. Are you all right?
Been better, but yes, I'm fine.
I'm so sorry. That thing took you down so fast. Can I see your arm?
Yes, here.
So, for narrative purposes, is there some kind of roll that I can make to see what Marani knows about what this might be?
I mean, nature check? Nature or... I guess our...
Medicine?
Medicine?
Yeah, nature or medicine.
I will gladly roll medicine.
Guidance.
Oh, wow. 26.
I mean... Yeah, you... I mean, it's definitely a bite. And are you expecting the bite, or are you expecting the damage from the interaction with Zariel?
Right now, I'm focused on the bite.
Yeah. I mean, the bite itself is pretty nasty. I mean, it's undead fangs pretty much bit into him. Even with a high medicine roll, you're not able to really diagnose anything just from looking at it, but you've heard the stories. I mean, in learning the medicines and tricks from your tribe, you can be fairly certain that you know that these kind of, and especially again, you see the human-looking specter transforming, that there is a chance he's contracted a potential lycanthropy from this bite.
Okay. Again, just for narrative flair, for meta reasons, I know that this won't work, but Marani would try this. I'm gonna just cast lesser restoration on him. I'm gonna have to. I don't have any second level spell slots left, so I'll have to upcast a third level, which I know doesn't do anything, but he would want to try to get this off on him and see if it has any effect.
Okay. I mean, unfortunately, it does not have any effect, but
Yeah, I figured.
narrative flair. It works.
Yes. Yeah. Ronnie just sighs and shakes her head. This is beyond my ability to heal. We need to do something about this. That was a werewolf that bit you.
Well, the fact that it turned into the silhouette of a person after Absinthoss did whatever he did to it is maybe a tell, but oh joy.
Well, perhaps a trip to Malayas is back in order. We are in the neighborhood, after all. Coo, coo, cleric, coo!
She wasn't too keen on helping me. Then again, I didn't need help at the time, if I remember correctly.
Beans.
It's worth a try. I mean, we don't know how much time we have. I mean, I know we've got these druids to deal with right now, but it's more of a lead than we have at the moment, unless she kind of looks off toward where Absinthoss had walked off. And Morani obviously wasn't privy to the conversation that Absinthoss and Zidane had beforehand. But she was kind of keeping an eye on him as Zidane walked off to the well. And she knows Zidane well enough to be able to have noticed that despite the bite, like Absinthoss, of course, was being nonchalant and aloof per usual, but she knows Zidane well enough to be able to notice that he didn't seem especially happy with him while he was talking to him. So with that in mind, you seemed a little incensed when you were talking to Absinthoss a little while ago. Did something happen?
He made a deal with something to help us in the fight.
What kind of deal?
He puts his fingers around Madeline's necklace and holds it to his chest. Madeline told me that he was going to exchange something for the favor. Now, granted, after I was able to ask him, well, that actually is why and then he's gesturing over the charred and scorched portions of his armor. He said he was trying to bald-faced lie to whoever he was making this deal with, but Ronnie, she was screaming so loud. I don't know if you know what it is like to have someone in your head that is... Well, I'm not sure if so much being broken, but...
Zidane, do remember who you're talking to. She just has a playful smirk on her face. Corey, no idea how to control.
Yeah.
But then the smirk on her face fades, and as she kind of just processes what Zidane just told her, and she looks absolutely horrified. And I don't recall. I mean, I'm not going to try to meta my way into figuring out like who was actually standing next to Absinthoss during that fight, but she knows about Zariel, and so from that alone, I think that it might be fair to say that she's able to piece two and two together as far as who he was making the deal with is concerned, even though the details of said deal are a little hazy. And the fact that Zidane said that Madeline is screaming, she does not like this at all.
I have stood up for him time and time again when no one else has, but if this gets out, well, I want to believe that he was lying, but to lie to something this powerful that, with a snap of their fingers, lifted that fog.
Zidane, we need to try. I think we need to get this out in the open. I mean, if the fact that you say Madeline is screaming,
Oh, she's silent now. I haven't been
Well-
able to talk with her, but
has she been silent the entire time that she's been with you? I mean, that alone, from what I have seen of her, seems unlike her. And if she was screaming before, which also seems unlike her, whatever deal this was that he made, I don't know what he's done. But if he's done something to Madeline, I think that we need to get this out in the open. Try to get Absinthoss to come clean. I mean, I'm not looking forward to another confrontation tonight, but if he was willing to do something like this to his own flesh and blood, I think we all deserve to know what has happened, because we're all involved, and we need to be able to trust each other.
the question is, Thamor just kind of loitering up against the building there? Because it'd be hilarious if he was, and just listening passively.
Snoko is Thamor paying any attention at all? Eavesdropping, whatever.
Yeah, what is?
We're gonna say that body's still there, right? The big werewolf that actually disappeared when he.
No, it's gone. It's a specter now, right?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
the body itself has crumbled and faded away, but he pulled the soul from it, so the specter is followed Absinthoss away.
Damn, I was hoping to loot the body.
So,
Yes, Thamor is just saying about.
There's like, you can roll me an investigation to see if there's anything left. Just because the body's not
Yeah.
there doesn't mean there's not stuff. Unless you want the body. The loot was the body all along. I'm sorry to say that is not there this time.
Monster Hunter needs a trophy. Body pieces.
yeah, the tail.
Gonna
Or,
roll.
Yeah, I want to roll an investigation and dig through the the ash. I'm gonna say the ash.
Go ahead and roll me investigation then.
Just collect
Hey,
the ichor.
Salty, can you roll me an investigation?
Just collect the ichor off your helmet.
I-
Put it in the vial.
What's your investigation modifier, Thamor? Do you know?
I'm pulling it up real quick.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Hey.
Roll
Hey,
high for other players. I can't roll high for my own creatures.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, Thamor, you're kind of like poking around where the body fell, scratching around. You don't find anything like gold or jewels, but you do find this pendant, kind of buried in the ground, that seems to have been worn under the creature's fur, perhaps. And it's a wooden leaf with kind of a gold inlay to it. And on the back side, if you flip it over, you notice it has what looks to be like claw marks right through it. And it's about the size of roughly like your palm. So it's a decently sized.
He is going to walk off and try to find Absinthoss.
I mean, I didn't walk out that far. I just walked around the corner.
And put them onto the trip line.
No, the trip line's gone. It got ripped out of the ground earlier.
Yep.
Oh, that's right.
So, Marani she does not think that this can wait until morning. So she is going to, like, before Thamor walks off, she's going to walk up to Thamor. Thamor, I think that we all need to have a chat with Absinthoth. Can you bring him back here and be prepared to help ensure that he sticks around long enough to tell us what we need to know?
An alternative idea.
Interesting. I can help with that. But first, I will find out what this pendant is. It was on the remains of the old friend.
May I see that pendant, Thamor?
Daymar hands it off.
Can I make a roll to see if I can figure out what this is?
Roll me a religion.
Religion?
Mm-hmm.
Guidance?
Yeah, I'll guidance myself. I don't have any cosmic omens left, but that's okay. I'll take a D4. No joke, that's a natural 20. 22 total.
All right.
Finally, I get a good roll on religion.
Marani, you see this and you just memories come flooding back, almost borderline nightmaric in a sense. This symbol was talked about by your grandmother when she was kind of teaching you druidic ways. And there was a lot she went over of like the different clans and how druids used to have their own orders based on kind of what form of nature they served. And you've seen a couple of them so far. Like you've run into Grimlock and Redrick, who like kind of had the Order of Stone, right? This, however, was something your grandmother had mentioned to you to avoid.
Oh, good.
This was an order that strayed closer to the side of primal nature than any other. So much, in fact, that the many would be borderline giving up humanity itself to become part of nature.
Okay.
So there's rumors abound of what kind of things they had done, the fact that they had traded humanity to gain bestial powers. But this is all coming from, again, the sources you've heard as a kid.
Sure. And it's been a long time since I would have been exposed to stuff like that. So I recognize this. If this is the Order of Druids that's responsible for what is happening here, this is not good.
And that be true. When I knew them, they were peaceful.
Certainly not. They are so obsessed with becoming one with nature, they would sacrifice their humanity to achieve that. And based on what's happening here, it would seem that they seem to extend that philosophy to others, whether they're willing to or not.
I mean, Faust probably could have been another force tipping them over into this madness.
It's possible, certainly, but this needs to be dealt with. But in the meantime, we need to have a talk. Thamor, go find Absinthoth, will you?
I actually have another idea. What if us three talk with him first, and then we meet with the others? The last time it was like putting him alone up against a wall while everyone drew bows.
She looks like she's about to object, but then her eyes fall on his arm again, and then a look of guilt comes across her face, and then she gets a look of like concession, almost as if like she doesn't want to argue with Zidane right now, given what has happened and everything he has gone through. So she just nods her head. All right. But I do think that once we're able to get out of him what he is willing to come forward with, the others do need to know. We're all in this together. And
Of course.
okay. And of course, Shred decided to walk off right now. Damn it! He's like, nope, I am not doing this now.
Avoiding problems one step at a time.
Ice water won't save you now.
Yeah, he's gonna come back from getting ice water, and all of a sudden he's got Thamor, Marani, Zidane, and Frey, and Shinari just surrounding him, like, hi.
This is an intervention. Again.
This is the end of your buy one get one free interventions.
Mm.
You need to subscribe to a platinum tier in order to get some more. Oh, he's back.
I'm back.
Oh,
yes.
good.
I literally
good.
just got back.
Yay! Hi. So, you see Zidane, Marani, Thamor, and Shinari all like rounding this corner and just walking up to you. Absent thoughts, I think we need to have a conversation.
Yes, I think that's only fair.
What did you do?
Move me.
Thamor, move your token, damn
Someone check my body over there.
yeah. Salty help.
Thamor just yelling him across the building.
Oh, wrong way.
Thamor, get down here, damn it!
Just like, no, I'm gonna go over there now. They're having a bonfire.
You're having a weenie roast with the dead peasants or something?
Shit.
It is. Never mind.
Absent Thoughts looks squarely back at Marani. In the course of tonight's conflict, in order to purge the fog, I verbally satiated Zerial, saying that I would sacrifice Madeline for her to purge the fog.
Marani looks absolutely incensed. Let me get this straight. We just convinced Madeline to not destroy the world and pulled her out of the 9 hells where Zerial has been torturing her for 10 years. And you told Zerial you'd give her back?
I have no intention to follow through on it.
Oh, well, how lovely. You honestly think that you would be able to pull the wool over Zerial's eyes? What kind of power do you think you would have in stopping her?
I would rather gut myself than let... While she may not be the sister I knew, and while I may have initially thought that she was lost, after some thought she's still an innocent victim in that regard.
Yet you traded her soul anyway.
I lied about it, yes.
And again, you lied to Zerial. Do you think she gives a fuck?
I think I might be lacking the understanding of what Zerial is. I didn't recognize
Beings
the
of
thing.
such power cannot be lied to. For what they want, they will take.
Well said. What exactly was your plan?
The plan of the heat of battle was to purge the darkness or we would all be felled.
And you decided to sacrifice your sister to that end?
Well, she's still around my neck.
For now.
so, yeah.
Your own flesh and blood, Absynthos. How are any of us supposed to trust you now?
Frankly, it's a good question. Am I becoming like my mother? That's what Zariel told me. I incensed at that comment. If anything, I want to become nothing like her.
Well, you're not off to a very good start.
No, I am not.
You just did exactly what your mother did.
Applesauce is going to sit down with his back against the wall.
You were all set to berate Madeline for stooping to her mother's standards. And now you've done the same. And if anything, what you have done is worse. Because you sacrificed your sister back to her. At least Madeline, for the horrible thing that she was trying to accomplish, was non-specific. You've seen Morani express negative emotion before. You've seen her irate, frustrated, defiant. You've never seen her angry. Morani is angry.
Applesauce looks pretty dejected because he exactly knows that Morani is right on the situation. He is looking over where he puts the cursed dagger and thinking, well, the heart is over here. He's touching over his heart.
Oh, here's that.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I've already taken a heavy blow for you today. I don't want to prevent you from stabbing yourself. Yeah.
Morani reaches down where Absynthos is sitting and just grabs a hold of her shirt and just tries to hoist him back up to his feet. Oh no. You are not getting out of this that easy. You started this. And now, by God, you are going to fix it. But before that happens, we are going to tell the others what happened. Because we are all in this together and they deserve to know the kind of bullshit that you just pulled.
And what will that change? I'll probably get stabbed either way.
What it will change, Absynthos, is the fact that you promised me that you were going to be a bit more upfront and you were going to stop this shady bullshit. We're already one step in the negative as far as that's concerned because you've just done it again. The least that you can do now is be honest. We're supposed to be your friends. We all deserve to know what's at stake. And if you've done this to your own flesh and blood, then they all deserve to know that maybe they should be sleeping with one eye open for fear that you could do the same to us. The people that you proclaim to care for.
Yeah, what is going on? Thamor is trying to grab the rope out of his pack.
He's doing a what now?
Grabbing rope out of his pack.
Oh,
Alright, where's the tallest tree on this place?
I don't think that's necessary. If you're willing to.
Morani just crosses her arms.
He's
Now,
just gonna
are you-
tie up his arm.
Oh.
This is a small town. There is a very loud Morani.
You literally have never seen Morani this angry. It's a sight. Now, are you going to come back willingly? Or does Thamor have to help?
Absent
He's-
thoughts.
He dusts his shirt off for a moment. I'll come back willingly.
Good choice. She just walks behind Absent Thoughts and just gives him a little shove forward.
He'll just leave the specter over here.
I'm just doing Ring Around the Rosie with Alta.
So yeah, while they lead Absent Thoughts back, Marani is going to find Evian and Alton and Andros and just tell them we all need to talk right now. This can't wait until morning. And there is a massive sense of urgency coming from her.
Right. What? Marnie, what's going on?
Absent Thoughts has something to tell us.
Oh, joy. My favourite talks.
Well, depending how it goes, might be the last one.
Oh, yeah. You're going to hear it straight from the horse's mouth, as it were.
And Ross crosses his arms. His tail is kind of flicking annoyedly.
Right. So what'd you fucking do this time? That fire yours?
Wait, which
So
fire?
what- the fucking inferno that burned across the whole town.
Yes.
And Zidane looking like a fucking charred funeral pyre corpse.
Yes.
Tell them what you did. And so help me, Absent Thoughts. If you give anything less than a straightforward answer, then I'll make sure that Thamor makes you a head shorter.
I'm waiting for everyone else to show up.
Out of character, I think everyone has shown up. But...
Yeah, we're here. We're here.
Oh shit.
Ultima's going for slapstick of, where is everybody?
In the course of this battle, there was an overwhelming darkness caused by the druidic force.
Right, we saw that.
Right. And you saw the magic dispelling flame that came afterwards.
Yeah, it took off all my spells too.
Athos is certainly sweating, despite I don't know how cold it is at night, but his skin is sweating and his palms are almost liquid.
You have chicken flesh.
I now have chicken flesh. In the course of the battle, my patron Zerial appeared.
Just like that. Just how you do? Here's a little social call.
I was hoping for a more angelic being to occur, but clearly that was my first of many mistakes.
That's bold, sure.
Anyhow, the part that looks over to Thamor. To aid in that dispelling wave of magic, I verbally promised to bring my sister back to Zerial.
Scritches stop. You what?
Fucking what?
Yes. Somehow Zero's attention was aware that the sister was with Saddam. And I knew that to her ears, that even the verbal idea of her coming back would help aid in destroying the magical darkness that encompasses this area.
Right. So let's start this over. You fucking made a promise to your devil queen patron that you
A
will
lie,
give her.
but yes.
All right. Are you that fucking thick that you think you could lie to a demon who already knew that your sister was no longer, one, in hell with her, and two, right beside you? What fucking world do you think you live on? What arrogant fucking mind do you think you have that you can hide and lie to a demon? You can't even lie to fucking us!
Salty, you didn't have to prepare any material for this session.
No.
so you know.
No, this is. I just need to get some popcorn. I set up the show of a lifetime.
Oh, this has been so long overdue. I love it so much.
Oh my god.
The
It's built up
townspeople
perfectly.
looking at us, or are we just exuding a lot of
Probably.
Uh,
Man.
Most of them
Conflict.
are kind of. Again, you're still in the middle of the night, so a lot of them are still huddling inside the houses and such.
We did
They're-
we did gather some of them. The Lorelier helped collect
Yeah,
those
and there's a
who-
few of them that are trying to like kind of keep an eye out. Like they know the night's not over, but they're giving wide berth to the center of town.
Might I suggest that we perform this ritual of sorts in the tavern over there? You know, Alton points to the...
Does it really make a difference?
No, but there's drinks in there.
Oh, really? Oh, fuck. Well, I think we're all gonna fucking need a few drinks.
Right?
Thamor, grab that fucking asshole and bring him along.
Famor grabs him by the back of his neck.
Oh my god!
He's not resisting.
Evian says, I don't think drinking is going to solve anything.
It never has, and it never will, and it'll never stop us.
It'll make me feel better. Fuck.
We can get our old rooms.
Yay! Maybe they have some ice
So-
water.
I don't think we have an actual tavern map, so we just plop ourselves on top.
Oh right, yeah, because that was the one I originally drew like
Yeah.
during session 1. I
Yeah.
need to remake that eventually. Okay, I don't have that. I just write that. Okay.
It's
Cross that
okay.
Theater of mind.
Stick art.
It's okay.
go!
We can theater of mind it. It's
Yeah,
good.
it's a small tavern. There was the table, like a small table on the side, as well as the bar up front where the
I remember it pretty well. It had a bunch of round tables and a bar, and a set of staircase.
Yeah, I don't actually have it anymore because I deleted it to make room for other maps that I had to draw throughout the game. Because, hell, I didn't know when we'd be coming back, if at all, to Tilbrook. Who knew?
Yeah.
But
I imagine we shove a bunch of tables together and it's a big needle.
I mean, you kind of also notice that behind the bar, the older barkeep as well as Bessie are both cowering behind still kind of cowering, well, I should say not cowering. He's fast asleep on Bessie.
Oh, I
We're
would
so
like
gonna
to
wake up Bessie.
gently wake them and assure them, and then maybe play a little tune or something to see if I can raise some spirits.
He is difficult to wake. As you kind of try and nudge him, you smell the heavy scent of alcohol on his breath.
I'll let him sleep. But
He decided to
okay.
take himself out of the fight in fear through his own means.
That almost happened to me. I can certainly understand.
Evian's just fucking taking ale. Okay, great.
There are scraps of cheese and such laying around, as well as tankards of ale that he was partially imbibing and setting himself up for.
Careful of the cheese. It's still very strong.
But
Andros is standing at the back of the tavern, staring out the back window. His tail is flicking angrily, very much lashing back and forth as he is refusing to turn and look at Absinthoss at the moment.
Well, who wants to start? Or has this already been dragged all the way out?
As I know that advocating for Absinthoss has been difficult for everyone. He did make a decision which won us the night. The stipulations of this, lying to a powerful being in order to give back his sister, is terrible. But she is still with me. So whatever deal that he has made, I think that as long as she's with me, nothing can be done.
we don't know how long that's going to last. She could go at any moment.
Yeah, also, I mean, there's nothing stopping this demon from literally killing you and taking the amulet. As morbid as that is.
Oh, true.
And might I remind everyone in the damn room, we were headed back to Galaran to kill his mother, who works for Zerial. Now we're gonna have her pissed off, and her patron. What the fuck were you thinking, Absinthoss?
Also, his mother now likely knows exactly what we know through his patron.
Yes, that's right. She's watching. God. Literally, how could you be this thick? Or are you just that fucking arrogant that you thought you were strong enough to lie to a demon queen?
Seems like he tries to solve a lot of his problems just by lying.
And you said you'd rather give the skin on your own back than do anything for her, yet you lie to give your own sister? Why not give yourself? You seem a real fucking attached to your skin that you would give someone else away instead of yourself.
Thaymore, where's your halberd?
Somewhere between the half executioner pose and your head.
Oh,
Fair enough. Kind of looks up towards it. He's thinking internally of his options of, well, let's see, if I die, and then she doesn't get a sister, that'll make her really pissed off. Doesn't seem like that bad halfway to go at this point.
Oh, now you're fine dying. You fucking prick. And how the fuck did Zidane get burned?
Oh,
shit! Evian just slapped him.
Slapped him. Yeah, we'll definitely wait for you to type it.
Oh yeah, I am waiting for this response. See, Marani is fucking pissed. Reyna is just jumping up and down with glee right now.
Red, your NPC creation skills are bleeding over into your PC creation skills. You gotta watch that. I don't know.
Absinthe, Niche, Leviosa. Levios. No, but seriously, this is really good drama. This is
Yes! Yeah, I live for this shit. And by the way, throughout all of this, rather contrary to what you have seen Marani do when alcohol is presented, she has not touched a drop of alcohol since she has been in this tavern.
Oh shit.
Meanwhile, Andros has thrown back whatever he can find.
Dude.
Zidane's gonna try drinking.
Incensed.
Whoa, Zidane's drinking?
Oh, now Zidane's drinking,
He's
damn.
gonna try drinking, then remember, wait, this shit doesn't do anything for me, and then he just dumps it on his arm.
Yeah.
It stings.
Yeah, yeah.
Cauterize the wound.
It's some crazy alcohol. It's cauterizing it. Holy shit.
He's already been.
use that
Well,
in
that's
there.
true. He's already been burned. I mean, maybe.
Oh, there's the reply.
Seriously, man.
He's just looking more dejected because he's like, I thought I was better. Thought I was a hero. But clearly I am not.
Did you say that out loud?
No,
Oh,
no, he's just thinking that at the moment.
Okay.
so here's the situation we find ourselves in now. We now know that you are entirely willing to throw your own family to the wolves. Where does that leave us? Are we all expendable?
Athlaj just stares deadly into Marani.
Well,
I want to say no.
and we're just supposed to take your word at that? You've shown us what your word is worth. You've shown me.
He wants to, but the implication is that he can't. And I didn't even have to cast Zone of Truth to get it out of the way. At
In the
this
heat
point,
of
I
the
think
battle.
it's... Go ahead, sorry.
In the heat of this battle, clearly, I'm willing to lie to the Demon Queen, myself, go back on my word to everyone.
At this point, I'd say about everyone except for Evian is completely willing to write you off. And Elton, turns to Evian, and it's really up to you, he says.
I haven't written you off. I just know that I cannot trust you at all with Madeline.
And speaking
Sure,
of Madeline,
Yeah.
we also should ask her of her opinion of this. She is the one most affected by what he has done.
I'd expect nothing less from the Lawbringer. While Evian is chatting up the text box, I'm gonna try going into that little mindscape and looking for Madeline. Madeline, she's
I
gone.
muted. Haha.
Oh.
He was getting popcorn.
The munching was getting so loud. The suspense. Zidane, you hear that quiet voice. Put the amulet in his hands.
I thought as much. But don't worry. Do you wish to speak?
I will speak to him.
How?
Just put the amulet, ergo me, in his hands.
Evian is saying something at the same time.
Hmm?
You want
Evian
me to say it? Okay. Evian says, I know you hate your mother and even the cereal, but this is not the road to take. There's so many
Oh.
better methods to take. And yet, again, you're trying to do this all alone. For God's sakes, Absinthoss, we are your friends. We're supposed to look for each other's backs, but this time you've gone too far. This time, look around you. There's hatred in your friend's eyes. The disbelief. Zidane lets Evian say her piece, and he's going to slowly begin taking off Madeline's amulet. He is going to wrap the chain around his fist, the one that's both been scorched and also bitten through, and put the amulet portion down. But there is, in no certain terms, a situation in which he will be letting go. And he'll look at Absinthoss and say, your sister would like to speak with you. If you would hold out your hand.
He just looks dead at Zidane. And he weakly pulls his hand out. Slowly.
Despite the Yanti's proclivity towards lacking emotion in their facial features, there is that tinge of regret, sadness, small little emotions that he's learned over the course of being with everyone. And he reaches out and palm up.
Mm-hmm.
Do you touch the amulet?
I do touch the amulet, yes.
As you
Power word
touch it,
kill.
huh? Power word kill. Roll that saving throw.
I don't think it's that saving throw. I think I just die.
Yep.
No, as you touch it, it feels it slowly starts to kind of warm to your touch, and a faint purple glow starts to emanate from it. And in the blink of an eye, you're standing once again in a familiar room, in a familiar house, standing across from Madeline.
Am I still my same age, or am I at the age of that night?
You are currently your same age, and Madeline looks to you as though she thinks she would look in her older self. the current year.
Do we in the tavern still see Absinthoth sitting there?
You still him seeing there, you just see this flash come from the amulet, and you see his eyes glaze over, and his head slump forward.
Am I just holding the amulet, or am I also an observer in this little place?
You're just holding the amulet. She is not
Okay.
pulling you in. So yeah, you all see him kind of, again, this flash of purple energy emit, and his eyes just blank out and head slump. But Absinthoth, you come again face to face with Madeline. And her face is a mix of emotions. Between recovering from the fear of seeing Zariel to perhaps the slightest twinge of curiosity. So what now, dear brother? I sacrificed so much for you. Is this what you truly want? Taking me right back to her?
If I did, I'd become exactly the person who I hate the most.
Is that so? And am I right to think that we hate the same person then? Because that's the case. Why didn't you take my hand earlier, Absinthoth? Why go through all this?
You know, at the time, I thought my mother still had humanity. But after this, it's much more clear. Mother's no longer human. She made repeated choice after choice to sacrifice her humanity for power. She may be biologically similar to a human, but she's just as vile as Zariel.
Oh, you're catching on. Took you long enough. And instead of me fixing the world like I wanted, stuck here, hoping for your friends to hear something out. All the while, still having to rely on her. Pull you out of this mess. What do you want, Absinthoth?
Thinking pensively at the concept. You know what? You do have a point. Maybe I just at the time wasn't ready to accept the message. I'm not sure at this time if I'm ready to burn the whole world down. I am ready to destroy Mother or die trying.
She gets a wicked grin. You know, Zidane. Or not Zidane, sorry. You know Absinthoth. I gave up so much. I did care for you. There is one way to make this work?
I'm listening.
Do you truly, truly want to bring Mother down? Truly want to reforge the bonds? The pact that was made?
Last time I tried to make a deal without knowing the consequence, I was stuck under the thumb of Mother.
Fair point.
I would like to not make the mistake again. I want to at least hear the full idea out before I read anything.
You have something Zariel fears. We both do. She fears the voids, Dan. She opened your mind to it because she
The
thought
voids what?
she'd have a pawn.
I'm sorry to interrupt. The void's what?
The void's power.
Okay, okay.
And she opened your mind to it because she thought she'd have a pawn and have access to it through you. So, if we both made a wish, right now, of our own free will, to renounce her as your patron and embrace the void as it. You'd be a trailblazer absent us. First warlock with a deity that transcends that of a devil. But I will warn you, it won't come without its consequences. For one, you'll have a very, very angry devil left. But at least we'd have one thing in common then as brother and sister, wouldn't we?
As if we didn't have a angry devil already.
Zariel is ruthless. She's cunning. She still thinks she can try to twist you, to play with your childish mind, your naive sense of nobility, of heroism, despite what your family has done, what we've done. I didn't have the power to break it before, but look at me now. I had just had a bit more time and had you all. Besides the point, I'm still along for the ride for now, and perhaps my time will still come. But that won't happen if you're all fighting amongst yourselves and if you are under her watchful eye. I suppose it's not really me. She wants me, of course, but you turn me over, Zidane, or you turn.
Jeez.
I don't know
here,
why. I have her. I'm looking at the screen. I see Zidane's name, so it just keeps like filling the blank in my head. You turn me in. You turn me over to her, absent us, and she wins because she wins your soul. She will have you, her obedient little puppet, and gateway to the void. So, a deal with the devil? Or a deal with the power you have barely scratched the surface of, but have called upon countless times? And she reaches out her hand. Ellie was your first. Allow me. Finally be the big sister I should have been.
Absenthoss holds his hands back. I can't make this deal alone with you, as tempting as it is. And by Domiel, it is tempting. This change will affect more than just me. And they deserve to have as much input as I do on this. I don't want any more collateral damage, not any more that I've already caused.
Well, I'll be here. I'll be here if you change your mind. I'll try and convince that, goody two-shoes sedan of your choice. But if you try to play the cunning one, dear brother, know that I will not go quietly.
I would expect nothing less.
I'll be here. If you ever grow tired of her prying, she still listens, Zidane. Mind your tongue while you still hold the pact with her. And with that, the room starts to twist and contort before it finally all fades to black. And with a shocked breath, almost as though you've been unbreathing or slowly breathing during this point, your eyes adjust back to the tavern around you.
Sedan pulls the necklace back.
And then you hear the voice of Madeline again in your head, calmer than it was before. He'll be okay. A bit confused. But little brothers have to grow up eventually.
I don't suppose I could request you to relay this development to the others, straight from your mouth?
I don't have the power to pull anyone else in with me. You have the pact with me, and, well, he's my brother. I don't fear him. I worry. And I'll support him if he changes. I do fear the being that watches him, though.
Well, barring you not being able to say, what words would you have me tell my friends?
I don't know. You're the one who convinced me, how would you put it, maniacal, vengeance-stricken monster to, take a pact with a goody two-shoes paladin. I'm sure you'll think of something.
Well, Madeline, a pleasure as always. This is dry sarcasm. And again, my ear is always open, should you wish to provide commentary on this crazy little adventure.
He just kind of laughs, though you do detect the hinge of sarcasm in her laugh as well.
I do believe Absinthoss was completely out of it, Evian. So, as far as what I tried to say, being sick sucks.
Do we see him come back, so to speak?
Yes, like he kind of like sits up abruptly, taking a sharp breath.
Everyone uses their ready to action to smack it.
Everyone just hangs over the
It's
reaction.
vaguely he's drawing his weapon.
Takes a short breath, immediately is
His
pummeled by the
breath.
party and goes right back unconscious.
His breath is his pack weapon. Attack!
No, well, Absinthoss. Well, I suppose first, whatever you two talked about, I'm not sure not bearing ill will over the situation would be the right words, but things are smoothed over for the moment.
Not by a fucking long shot.
I know that Absinthoss's word is still
Useless. Pointless. Less than nothing.
and even with mine backing it up, could you at least trust me just a little while longer?
How do you do this? How do you continue to vouch for him? You're a fucking walking corpse. Because of him.
Oh, this? He just looks at the arm. It's not the worst that's happened to us over the past few months.
What guarantee that he doesn't do this again?
Madeline.
Oh right, we're supposed to trust the crazy bitch who wanted to destroy the whole world. Who's going to keep, what, her brother in line?
Yes, the crazy bitch that I currently am holding in the palm of my hand. And he's gonna go start putting it back on around his neck.
Feel like I'm taking mushrooms here. Fuck.
So what did your dear sister have to say about all of this, Absinthoss?
Oh boy. Well, clearly we both agree Mother needs to be destroyed.
Oh, are you finally on that boat now? Good. Took you long enough.
Ronnie.
Her suggestion, which I did not follow through for the moment, was to use the void to wish to break the pact between me and Zerial. She is too interested in my connection to the void. If either one of us goes over to Zerial, the other becomes a puppet.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't it all this reckless wishing that's got the world how it is now?
That's why I didn't accept it immediately. Not a decision I can make myself.
That's a first.
Loath as I am to admit that Absinthoss may have a point, I have to agree. He breaks his pact with Zariel, and now we've got a pissed off demon after all of us. At least now she seems satiated, at least for the time being.
Thing after another with you, ain't it, Absinthoss?
You know, there's some books that say we inherit the sins of our parents. Sometimes, I always thought it was forced upon us. But now I realize sometimes we choose that life because it's familiar.
So what now, then?
In some sense, it's more up to you than it is to me, isn't it?
Well, but now we have to babysit you.
Or as a gesture of goodwill, you could walk in front of the group. That was a joke. I'm sorry.
It was funny. I laughed. Are we down to brass tacks yet?
We do have these druids to deal with. But after that,
And the lycanthropic curse on Zidane?
yes. But it seems to me that it is now more important than ever that we deal with your mother.
Not exactly sure why we should ever think that Absinthoss won't help his mother.
Do you really think I want to become like her?
Done a
Well,
bang-up job not doing that.
I think the point
Evian
is
says
we
he
don't
won't
know.
help his mother.
I think the point is I certainly don't know.
Your actions up to this point haven't exactly dictated that you would do otherwise. Are we supposed to trust you now?
You've made a deal with the very demon that she pledges allegiance to. And on one of your party members' lives.
Is Thamor still holding his halberd executioner style?
At this point, Thamer probably would have put the halberd away and is now grabbing a drink. He's just walking up behind the barge, grabbing an entire barrel.
Introduced into the suits through an emergency induction port.
Oh dear.
Needs a mouth on the back of his back.
No, just a little hole appears in the shadow helm, and then
Absinthe, it occurs to me. We've never really asked why the fuck you're even here. Why the hell did you join the company of heroes? What's the point of being here if you're just gonna sacrifice people and make more pacts with fucking demons? What does all this give you? Is it just spitting in your mother's face? Because at least for some of us, this is important. Not a fucking game to show up your parents.
Above all else, I just wanted to be a hero.
In character, Alton's laughing.
Yeah, totally. Despite the fact that she's pissed off, Marani lets out an ironic laugh.
It's a fucking arrogance trip for you? Oh, God. Oh.
Yes, quite the hero.
Yeah.
We did save his village. And Evian adds in, we all start somewhere, you guys.
I think we've heard his origin story, as it were. And
Pampered brat who just wanted to get out.
That took far too long to reveal. Put us all in danger. Admittedly, the battle today turned out well with his bargain, but could any of us really say that his patron was interested in actually helping these people?
I think it's safe to say probably not.
I think his patron wants exactly what the Void wants. More power.
Actually, I think the way that Ellie and... No, it was Ellie. She described the Void as less wanting power and more... Oh, what was the word?
Like it just is. It's the vibe I got, more like the ocean.
Hierarchies. Something about hierarchies and how she had to bend to the will of something more powerful. Which, of course, was Madeline at the time.
Seems close enough to me.
And even Arestamar.
And let's say this. Let's say you do make this fucking wish. You get to, kick Zerial to the curb and go scot-free and join up with the Void. What guarantee do we have that you don't end up serving another hierarchy? We know we've got a fucking undead dragon breathing down our necks. What do we know that you're not going to suddenly be its lackey?
That's exactly the reason I did not make what Madeline requested.
Well, you're showing a fucking pickle, ain't you? And we're all stuck here with you.
Evian says, yes, you could have said something at the start, though I can see why he was concerned of our safety, though with everything as developed, I can see how it's difficult to trust him, especially now.
Anthony does a little, closes his eyes, laughs a little. I never thought I'd ask for this or even be related to this. I never thought I would ask for faith from someone. Belief in Belief in things unseen.
That is a lot to ask for now.
That it is.
So what's the goal then?
For the short term, or
No, the long term. You're very powerful, Absinthoss. You've shown that. You can be a powerful ally. But the trust issues... I'm not sure.
He's thinking about the ego comment from Andros, because he's right. This basically has been a giant... It could be reduced as a giant ego trip at the end of the day.
I think it's probably safe to say that you have lost the trust of everyone in this room. And it was thin to begin with for a lot of us. You wanted to be a hero. And we now see what that aspiration cost. So where does that leave us now? We're just supposed to take you at your word that it's all going to be great from here on out?
Evian says, not everyone.
How can you possibly still hold any trust in him now after what he's done? Evian, wake up. He just sacrificed his sister to play hero. How long before he does that to us, to you?
He is not sacrificed yet. Nor will she be.
Oh, right.
And again, you have yet to tell us how exactly you plan to stop that. It's all well and good that you said that you were lying to her, but do you really think she cares?
Do you really think she's not even listening?
aren't there things or spells that prevent that sort of thing? Far viewing.
Fuck if I know.
Out of character spells that do what?
Spells or items that prevent, well, out of character meta, some stuff that prevents scrying.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, there's
They
a
exist.
ring of
In character,
mind shielding.
Zidane,
Yeah,
Zidane is
there's
like
tons of stuff.
I have a 10 intelligence. Yay!
But of course, the fact that we cannot be looked upon may in and of itself become suspicious, wouldn't it? Seems as if we're damned if we do and damned if we don't in that regard.
Seems we've been that way since the fucking beginning with this prick.
Well, it's either watching and being able to send lackeys directly to us, or having lackeys look for us. Because if she was able to have taken Madeline, I was within arm's reach. That's what this was from. I imagine that this was meant for you, Absinthoss. And pointedly, the scorched, melted armor of his arm.
we lose Shred?
No, I'm just thinking, and my
Okay.
mind totally just blanked on the last sentence. Sorry, could you repeat that?
I blanked on it as well.
Something about a scorched arm, and like
Yeah,
I created it.
he said, Zedan said, I was within arm's reach of Zariel, and she didn't take it, though I imagined that this was meant for you. And he's showing the scorched and melted armor across his arm.
Yes, that was meant for me. I am more than grateful, and frankly surprised that you'd be willing to do that for me.
Surprisingly, I would do the same for anyone here. Evian
got-
says,
Oh,
it
go
may
ahead.
seem hard to believe, and I am beyond angry with the events that have transpired. However, there's still a chance to fix this twisted path he's made himself walk upon. I didn't have a great start either, and we all have different paths that we were forged into with this whole journey. Though I just know I won't abandon him and all my friends for that matter. I don't know how, but there's still hope. That's what I'm leaning on.
It seems that you'd follow him into demonic servitude then. A very admirable goal. Elton rolls his eyes.
It's all well and good to be angry with the events that transpired. But what about him? He was the one who made the decisions. He's the one who's put us in this whole mess.
If we could turn back time, clearly I should have never joined the Adventurers Guild.
Evian says, is he though? This started way before us.
He's certainly not a victim. Not anymore.
When has he shown he's trying to fight this? Words are one thing, but every single one of his actions has been in support of his demonic pacts.
Yeah, and he totally dragged Mort through the water next to the boat all those times. You remember that?
Yeah, remember when Abstos was trying to get Mort out of the water?
Evian, that was you, Alton.
I
Wait, you did what with Mort?
Sips his
I was-
drink. Wait,
I'm not gonna. Absinthe, would you mind doing that mending thing on this? I don't think I'll be able to take off the sleeve in its condition.
Does anyone else object?
To what now?
Bending
After-
Zidane's sleeve so he could take it off.
Oh, no.
Marani will just be watching very intently just to make sure that he does nothing else.
In that case, I will cast Mending on the sleeve. I could just find where my spellbook is. There it is. He's very cautiously just going to be close to where the sleeve is damaged and only repair the damaged sleeve.
You did drop a pretty penny on this armor for me, and it's certainly gotten its use since the Dwarven capital. Evian says, yes, these demonic pacts, the events that have transpired, it's hard to believe. Though think about the times he has helped people through our travels. He saved us when we were trapped in that void dimension.
He put us through that void dimension.
Wait, which incident are we talking about? Are we talking about
was-
being stuck in the mansion, or are we
Oh,
talking?
the Yankee pipe. I mean, the strange
Oh.
aurora borealis things that were coming out of the water. That is now a
for-
giant maelstrom that's sucking in
And for the
water.
record, he's catastrophically scarred the sea. I can't say that's worth one little transportation to where we were already going.
So it did get us quicker there and solved those problems.
Created more, as far as we know.
Smash one problem, 3 others pop up. Yes.
Our goal as part of this company of heroes is to make the world a better place. Now, we've been tasked to deal with something that could destroy the entire thing. And you think it's a fun little game to consort with demons and the very power that's trying to destroy us all in the first place?
Aside from Absinthoth and myself, actually, no one here asked to do more than help those and fend off bandits and get rid of infestations.
What?
Don't you remember? That one little puzzle from the Fool King. As far as I know, none of you had taken up a path to follow to where we are now. I was trained to be this.
I don't even know what this is, indicating himself, and yet I know there's more. We all know there's more going on, Zidane. It's not a... The world is falling apart. The fucking gods can't even stop it. They've apparently tasked us to do it. I ain't liking it any more than the rest of you, but we gotta start working to making the world better. Not constantly finding ways to bring more fucking terror into it. I've seen what happens when power gets to your head, when you think you're above the law, when you think you're above other people. And it can all be in the name of a good thing, good intentions. Yet those good intentions lead to fucking terrible things. Unconscionable actions. It can't just be about intentions. Every one of us in this room. There's more of this fucking world at stake. We need to make a decision if this one, points to Absinthoth, is going to assist in that.
Not a lot of good options. If we cut him loose, may push him all the way to the other side.
Madeline is content with whatever they spoke about.
Oh, joy, cheery. I'm glad to know the terrible demon void woman who wanted to destroy the world's on his side too.
Granted, but a particular storm is just on the horizon.
Andros buries his head in his hands.
I don't like to admit it. But at least here, we can keep an eye on him. He gets turned loose, then he has no one to make sure that he just doesn't lose himself completely to this.
How's Zedan's arm doing?
Oh, well, I imagine that it's all the plates are pushed back into place and the holes are gone. But yeah, the wound is of course not completely healed yet. Because I'm at 13 out of 73. I tanked to the floor.
I mean, you got lay on hands.
Yeah. I do.
Evian says, if you're worried if he can bugger off or do something drastic, then I'll deal with him.
Mark.
Andros will hear that and glance up at her. That's your choice. If he steps out of line again, you'll deal with him? You swear that in front of all of us? Will you protect him from himself?
You are
And if you-
extraordinary lucky, ass and toss that Evian is still in your corner.
He just nods ever so slightly.
Fine. Evian, if you're going to be his babysitter, make sure he doesn't step out of line. And if he does, it's on your fucking head.
This doesn't ring true to me, Evian. You've stated that you'll defend him unto demonic servitude, which is precisely what we're trying to prevent. No one is going to assign you the task of minding this person's intentions. You're completely compromised.
My goal now is to save the man before me, even if it is a complicated and idiotic thing for me to do, but I will find a way.
So here's the question then, Evian. If it came down to a choice between saving him or saving us, or the world for that matter, from him? Could you make that choice?
Because that's what I'm asking. That's what I'm trying to task you with.
This is stressful as fuck. Ah! Type faster. God.
Astos like to say something afterwards.
He's
But he doesn't want to
trying-
like taint the conversation.
Oh, yeah.
For Ann
he's
must be like,
trying
shut up,
so
Ann.
hard.
Good shit.
He continues to hold her gaze on Absinthoss. If it comes to the point where I cannot save him, then I will take up the task to end him myself to save everyone. Though, if there is a way I can save him, then I will still strive to do so.
Okay. And I would ask of nothing less than that.
Well, it seems you've gotten a reprieve. But this is your last chance. You have gotten more chances than you deserve. You put another toe out of line.
I'll make sure he won't, Marani.
Or even a hair.
She just shrugs. We'll see.
Though, not to cut the family meeting as it short. Is anyone else grievously injured?
Oh, yeah.
Not as grievously as you, but
Yeah,
we could
true.
all use a long rest, I'm sure.
Well, that was in character, but okay, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I think you took the brunt of whatever we dealt with today. A lot of us were, well, more or less unscathed. Nicks and scratches, it looks like.
Sort each other
Still-
out, and then we can tell these villagers or ask them what they want to do.
Well, there was something about coven of corrupted druids to the south. I think we got.
Did you
Actually,
get the
did
south
that-
information?
No, I just remember.
I was about to. I was gonna say it. I'm dealing with that.
I will amend that statement to say, well, we can track down wherever all of these things came from.
They're coming from the south. Or at least the
Thamor-
voice controlling them.
Thamor did manage to find a token on what used to be the body of that werewolf that we slew. I recognized the symbol on it. It is a ancient order of druids that are, quite frankly, bad news. They
Loves the primordial.
very much so. They seek to become one with nature by means of giving up their own humanity. And given what has happened here, it seems that they are willing to extend that to everyone, whether they are willing to be or not.
And they have done so for a while. Led by a man named Kars.
The voice we were hearing then?
Yes. Although Kars only took control over the last few days.
For days.
They had been corrupted for a long time, only driven to madness recently.
Right. The fog. Well, we think Kars has one of these tokens on him as well.
I could ask.
The spirit.
And I asked the spirit to come hither.
It's off fishing.
It's off fishing. It's gonna go right through the wall.
Yep, it just it terrifies half the people it passes by.
Fuck!
I'm imagining now, based on our orientation on the map, that it's just standing on the table.
Yep, no, it's standing through the table. It passes, it's incorporeal. It actually just straight up walks
Come
like
on.
through anything in its path and just stands in the middle of the table.
That's mildly concerning.
Could you take a seat? Move a little over 2 feet. I gestures go 2 feet over to where a seat is.
It walks
All you see
through
is
and-
gesturing.
It walks through and you can give it verbal commands, but yeah, it walks through
Yeah.
and like sits, makes the motion of sitting, but it cannot physically interact, or I think it can actually physically interact. So yeah, it just kind of hovers above the chair slightly.
Who has that token? Daymore, do you have it?
I think he pawned.
I do not currently hold it.
Who currently holds the token?
Well, I'm sorry, I thought I gave it back to him. She just takes the token out and then sits it on the table in front of her.
Absalthos is just going to do telepathic. He's going to both telepathically speak it so he can hear, but he's also going to speak verbally the same sentence so everyone else can hear. Do you know if Kars has a similar token as to this? Point with the token.
Yes, that was the mark of our order.
Does Kars create them? Or did someone give it to Kars? Did someone give this to you?
It was given to me and to Karst by our order for heads many years ago.
Are these order heads still alive?
No.
Well, at least we're not dealing with the heads of whatever
not
powerful
hearing
order.
this.
Oh, well, shit.
Are you relaying his responses?
Yes, I will relay his responses. As soon as I get them. Yes, it appears their order heads gave it to them many years ago. And Kars does indeed have one.
And the others, do we know where those are? They all in a communal grave or something?
Are all of you buried in the same location or scattered throughout the south?
Scattered. Some died in cells. Some died in faraway lands looking for a cure. Karst and I were to be buried at our old tree.
Old tree.
Ronnie, just off to the side, she's gonna cast detect magic on this thing just to see if there's any, if it has any properties other than just serving as an identification marker for this druid order.
Are you ritual casting it, or are you casting it?
I'm just gonna cast it. We're about to long rest anyway. Meta.
All right, time for second swarm.
Oh, no.
Fuck your meta. No, I'm just kidding.
The piranha swarms grow legs. We didn't deal with them.
Oh well, burn it all down. It's time to burn the village down and leave.
There isn't any magical property to this.
Okay.
It just seems to be a well-worn, carved leaf with gold inlay and scratched claw marks on the back.
Okay.
Out of character, is there any like unique aspect to it, or would we be led to assume they're probably gonna all be the same?
You don't know without being able to compare to another one if there's anything about this that's unique as compared to another. I mean, certainly a unique looking like thing because you've never seen one before, but as far as if it is unique to another, you don't know.
Is there any sort of I don't know, identification or marking that denotes who was given each one? So we find another one, would we know who it belongs to?
Yes, do we know if these are unique to an individual?
The marks on the back denote the ones we tried to suppress. Come.
Absent thoughts, I like to look at Marani, who has the I'm going to call it talisman at this point. May I touch it?
She looks very pointedly at him before kind of sliding it across the table in front of him, but she does not. Are you wanting to pick it up, or? Okay, she'll let you flip it, but she's keeping her eye on you.
So I'm going to flip the talisman on its back, and do I recognize the writing?
There is no writing.
No?
It's just claw marks. Scratch in the back of it.
He gives it back to Marani. Can you read this?
I mean, there's nothing to read, right? It's just claw marks.
There are no words, no.
I mean, I don't recognize it if that's what you're asking me. It just seems to be claw marks to me.
He delivers it back to Marani. Clearly it must be after they've gone, given up their humanity. Can Evian recognize the claw marks? As a hunter of sorts.
I mean, go ahead and roll me a... I mean, yeah, it'd be nature or survival.
Could I actually roll survival as well, just since I'm somewhat familiar with this order?
Sure. I'd say for Key being a hunter, you could roll it either or, nature or survival. Key you can roll with advantage.
Just straight for me?
Just straight for you.
Okay.
Oh.
You wouldn't have any.
15.
You recognize them as some form of a beast, beast claws, but not exactly able to pinpoint perhaps which. I mean, Key, you recognize these as wolf claw marks. Or Ebian, sorry. Ebian, you recognize. Like, my brain is associating when I read in the chat log, and I see Key, so. Yeah. Jeez Louise.
That doesn't fucking help anybody. Guess we're just gonna go south and wander around. Where's this?
Is
Where was it? Where was their home? Where was the base? Their home?
Are there landmarks that could help guide us to your order, where they operate? I know you mentioned that you were buried at a large tree.
Many years have passed. Our graves were not marked for fear of trespassers. But if Karst is truly behind this, he will have tried to bring the grove back.
The grove, is that unique? It's a what would
In life,
uniquely?
perhaps, it would have been a beautiful place to us of the Order. Now, perhaps, a place of death and sadness. If you wish to find where we were buried, rest. Look to the south for a great withered old tree covered in claw marks of the various animals of this world.
Great tree with various claw marks. Is it truly great, especially in comparison to its neighboring trees?
Evian asks if it's near a burned forest.
Is it near a burned forest?
I know not.
Hmm.
In the year I died, it was not burned. The tree was like any other tree, marked by all of our brothers. Their claw and fang. Place that we would hope to once again meet.
Would any of us here have a map of the area?
We were given one by
It was drawn
Dorvin,
out
right?
for you by
Dorvin, right?
Dorvin, yeah. He drew out a map, kind of laying out the area.
So I guess I would ask if Saul here would be able to point out roughly where on the map this tree would be.
You're trying.
Absinthoss, ask him if he would be able to point out the location of this tree. She just spreads the map out on the table.
Can you see the map in front of you?
Yes.
Could you point where this tree is when you were still alive? Based on this map.
The specter looks.
Guessing there's rivers and other.
And he points out an area south. I don't know if you've seen the ping or not.
Yeah, I see the big.
Yep.
Kind of vaguely points out an area south of Tilbrook. Across the river, we gathered as one, away from the prying eyes, the growing of man. We did not seek to harm. We did seek to become closer to nature.
Hmm.
I imagine someone's writing all of this down.
Applesauce
Right.
certainly would. And as he's writing it down on his little notes. Now, what's the weather going to look like tomorrow?
You
I
think the
do
Spectre
not
knows
know.
that?
I'm just asking in general. This is not directed at the Spectre.
I have a
Foggy.
feeling it's going to be foggy.
Foggy
Hmm.
with a side of undead. Were those squirrels?
If he's going to ask the Spectre, if this tree regenerated, would it be able to pierce through the fog?
I do not understand. It does not emit light.
How big is this tree?
In our time, no bigger than any other next to it.
Ooh.
But it was at that tree, the first of our order, had learned to control the wild urges and truly become a beast. So that is where we established our order. An unremarkable tree for an unremarkable order. Wish to stay away from the prying eyes of man.
A tree no different from any other tree aside from the claw marks. Or an order that believes itself to be unremarkable. To hide from man while being very different from it. Well, there goes that plan.
Well, you're able to fly, aren't you?
Well, that was sort of the plan, was to have Evian or someone with a little bit better eyesight than me to fly. But obviously, since it won't penetrate through the clouds, and if the weather's going to be foggy, with a chance of evil squirrels,
It's
we
like
may
cloudy
have
with a
to...
chance of meatballs, but foggy with a chance of evil swirls. So I have a question, actually. Frey, given that he's like astral or whatever when he's physically manifested, is he still limited in terms of the visual impairment that we've been experiencing with this fog, or would he be able to see? Or does that depend on what he is?
He sees, he's not, so he doesn't see, what was I gonna say? Because I think we determined, because he acts in the same way a familiar does, so he suffers the same sight penalties as a player.
Uh-huh.
So, double check and see that, but he functionally should.
Obviously, we need to turn him into a miniature purple worm with blind sight out to 60.
Double check and make sure the actual wording on it, though.
Does blind sight do anything with this fog, though? I mean, blind sight. Sorry, I had dark vision on the brain for some reason, but yeah, I mean,
I'm at tremor sense, actually.
Let's just have him ascend to becoming a holophant.
Okay, it has the statistics of the chosen form. So it would have the senses of whatever form it's in. So yeah, it doesn't have like magical sight in that regard, but it would have like tremor sense or blind sense if it were a creature, if you were in that creature's form.
okay, I'll have to give it some thought, but I think that I could probably just turn Frey into something that could maybe give us an edge.
Badger.
I do have a badger token prepared.
Morani,
Yes.
I have an idea.
Oh, I am itching to hear it.
You're a druid.
Yes.
You're more attuned to nature than perhaps the rest of us. I'm sure you can call upon some of your magic to help find this. Hopefully once we get somewhat close.
That is indeed the plan. I hope that since I am somewhat familiar with this order anyway, at least based on things that I've heard in my past, I may be able to come up with something to help guide our way.
Let's hope so. As long as we get roughly close to it, I'm sure you'll be able to take us the rest of the way there. Of course, you still have to deal with the lycanthropic curse.
I
Unless-
am fully aware, thank you, but unfortunately, situations being what they are, doesn't seem as if Zidane is in any immediate danger of succumbing, and this needs to be dealt with now. Unless you object, Zidane.
Well, I won't say I wouldn't object to Thamor being in the same room, just in case something happens and I need to be restrained. I don't think anyone else here would, his gaze lingers on Andros for a second before going to the rest of everyone.
I can prepare Charm Monster. Coo!
From what I know of werewolves, there's something about the moon needing to be the first issue. Unless, of course, our friend here is especially endowed with his curse-giving ability.
So I have a question. I think that you mentioned last time, once we were actually able to see the moon again, it is in some state of crescent at the moment, right? Salty?
Yes.
Okay. Would I, through just my experience with the stars and astral bodies and such, would I be able to make some kind of estimation as to how long we have before the next full moon?
Yeah, you could roll. What'd that be? I'll say yes, I just don't know what stuff actually be. to roll
Intellect,
towards.
survival.
Yeah, I'm guessing just a flat, like, survival or nature type check with advantage.
Hoping you would say with advantage. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I figured especially as someone who knows the stars a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I
the
was
other-
hoping.
The other option, the other thing I was going to mention is Andros was a navigator of the seas for 10 years. He would probably have tides and such more or less
Oh, yeah.
memorized. If
Oh,
not
yeah,
in his
totally.
navigational tools.
Yeah, that's a good point, too.
Yeah, you
But
can
you roll
both
first.
roll it as well.
Can we both roll for this? Okay, cool.
Yep.
I'm
So you
going
can
to
roll with
guidance
advantage
myself.
for it.
I'm going to guidance myself as well.
So would I roll? Could I roll with my navigator's tools proficiency?
Considering you can't actually use them right now, but you would have used them on the boat potentially.
Oh,
Well, I mean, you could try using them, but there's a fog, so it's like you're just. I don't. I guess you would have. Go for it. I would say.
I'm
I
assuming
guess.
navigator's tools probably also have charts and other things with it. It's not just the
that's-
sextants and other things.
That's fair.
That's a 23 total for me.
Yeah. But
Did someone actually answer, is this near a burned forest from Evian?
He said he didn't know. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't burned in his lifetime.
Thanks.
Yeah.
look at that terrible.
Roll 20.
All right,
5 and a
Andros.
7.
You were too busy not really paying attention to the moon, because that may actually be a fairly, like, thematic thing that you actually were not paying attention to it.
Andros like, oh fuck! I left my tide charts back on the ship with her.
It's okay. Maybe
sure
my
there's
star
other
charts will
reasons.
help.
There's maybe other reasons, Andros, that you didn't want to think about Ponder the Moon, but
Shouldn't you be outside?
what did you roll,
I
Ryan?
got a 23 total.
Jeez. Yeah, so the next full moon is in 13 days.
13
He is
days.
motivated.
Survival proficiency. Woo! Well, it looks like we've got a little over a fortnight before Zdan may be in danger of turning. So hopefully in that time we can deal with these druids and then hopefully find a solution.
Certainly hope so, considering he has told me that the rate of change is unknown.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Time is of the essence, needless to say.
Let's take this on faith then.
I really don't like you saying that word.
Though one has
Me
to
neither.
wonder, what does a Yanti werewolf look like?
I would love to know that.
I mean, what I
That was
keep
out of
as
character,
spells,
right?
Or... No, that
Oh,
was in character.
oh no, it was absolutely out of character.
Okay.
No, Marani is mortified, but Reyna, yeah.
Dan is saying this idly out loud. He's starting to get a bit fatigued.
Absent thus. When he says that, the Spectre makes a passing remark in his mind that you... Or maybe you're still I'm guessing you're still telepathically linked to it.
Mhm.
He is not of the wolf.
Hmm?
He is not of the wolf.
Oh shit!
Oh. Oh no.
What the fuck?
He looks over to Zidane.
You have the
I
clout
don't know what
now?
this means, but I don't think you'll turn into a wolf.
Well, what in the ever-loving fuck is it then?
That's interesting.
Do you know what he'll turn into?
Rabies.
I do not. Our curse, as you say, brings out the beast within. What he will turn into is what he already is.
Oh no. It's gonna be a giant snake.
Salty's revenge will finally come!
God damn it!
Then
do.
just turns into
Wow.
a swarm of snakes.
That would be
Oh,
super,
Evian
super
has been
fitting.
doing... Shouldn't you be outside to
God.
do that? We do have the Amazon bag. Maybe you find an item to remove whatever
Yes.
it does. And she pulls out the bag again.
I always wanted to be a snake.
That is a bald-faced lie.
Absenthoss will look back over towards Zidane with the comment, the beast within. Looks back over to Marani.
Don't you fucking say a word. Absenthoss.
Well, you didn't hear the Spectre say
You
this.
didn't hear the Spectre say this
shit!
back.
You heard nothing that this Spectre said other than him asking...
He wasn't turned into.
Yeah.
Okay, retcon. She just raises an eyebrow, seeing Absenthoss's
I
look.
need to make you do the
I mean, come
Elmo
on.
voice, you two, to help
Constantly.
figure out what the telepathic speech is, because it's like you just have the same mode of speaking.
Mm.
So one of you
That's-
be
that's fair.
Elmo, and the other one be, I don't know, Bert from Sesame Street when you're
In his
talking.
mind, Absinthoth sounds like Sean Connery.
What does Marani sound like then?
A spooky rat.
Okay.
Well, as I think about that for next session, he's going to turn back over to Marani.
hmm
You remember all those snakes you've summoned?
Yes, what's your point?
Well, he was a kind of close to a wolf. Zidane's kind of close to a snake. From his comment of the beast within, I'd imagine Zidane's going to turn into a giant snake.
Oh, great.
Yeah, well, that's a lovely thought.
Or, you know, if we're lucky, maybe you turn into a dragon or something instead.
How would that be lucky? I
Unfortunately,
doubt that this is anything that any of us would have any control over.
from what little I know of my people's history, we're closer to abyssal creatures than draconic ones. So maybe one of those interesting things from the bottom of the. This isn't helping.
Like-
I don't
No,
have
so-
any intentions of us waiting long enough to find out what exactly the nature of this is going to be. I think that we need to deal with these druids and then immediately trying to find a solution to this problem before it becomes a problem.
We must prepare for all eventualities. But I do agree with you.
She says, does anyone know if the Mamazon bag conjures a scroll that could possibly remove curses?
I mean, we can roleplay the bag here in a second. I was just waiting for you guys to finish up if we want
Oh,
to
sure.
delve into the bag.
Yeah, could it conjure a skull remove curse? Or scroll. Not skull.
And that's kind of what you... Is that what you, like, whisper into the bag, or...
And then you get a response from the bag. I'm sorry, someone on the plane of Avernus has vetoed that particular request. I'm not exactly sure what you did, but
I have an alternative solution, but I know
Our
Marani's
package
gonna
kinda-
hate it.
Our package kind of ran off. We were expecting to deliver, and it kind of ran off and went after a robot and ate it. We're having
Your
some
service
technical
package is
difficulties.
Your service package is currently under review due to unspecified circumstances. Please hold.
Yeah, it looks like Evian wants to whisper that into the bag.
Your call is very important to us.
Welcome to
Not really.
Mamazon. How can I help you?
So yeah, it looks like Evian wants to talk to the bag.
Ask for a scroll, remove curse, I'm assuming.
I'm sorry, ma'am. We only carry materials and reagents for the aspiring warlock, wizard, witch, sorceress, and beyond.
Oh, jeez.
We have the components needed if you want to make a spell scroll, but I need to know what they are and the proper method of payment.
But can anybody here actually make spell scrolls?
I think you
Or
just need proficiency in Arcana, don't you?
I think you need to know the spell in your current level.
You basically burn a spell slot to transcribe the spell onto a parchment of some value, I do not recall, expending your spell slot to basically cast a spell into the scroll.
at that point,
From
we
my
could
memory,
probably
it
just
serves.
cast it at that
the
point.
spell. Yeah.
Yeah,
But I don't think anyone has removed curse
I don't think so.
That's
because it's like
well, I mean,
If you-
Afterthought kind of does, but
Marani would hate the idea.
oh, absolutely.
Everyone's still ready in action to beat the living fuck out of Absinthoth the moment he calls to the void again.
I think it's
Yeah.
just a perpetual action for the rest of the campaign.
Thamor, the the lawbringer who lives in shadow, will forever be in your shadow.
I mean, he can be bribed with beans.
You're not
This is
supposed to
fair.
say that part out loud.
That's already known.
It's in his backstory at this point.
Yeah.
It's character trait, character flaw, and character perk.
Burn, beans, beans, beans.
Always the beans.
Beans
Yeah.
all the
well,
way
one of
down.
them made him a god, so
Technically, I could have stopped it when it was happening if I was close to it, but.
Man, we carry things that serve as material components for spells. We have some glasses and other peripherals that could be used as components for the casting of magics.
So we can't get straight up magic items from this thing. That's unfortunate.
That service is currently unavailable.
It's
like
pay
to-
package.
It's locked
you'd like
behind
to
a
upgrade
higher
to the-
subscription tier.
It requires Amazon
Upgrade to
Prime.
the gold prime membership. That'll be another 1,000 platinum,
Yeah.
paid in the standard interdimensional monthly fee.
It's on a monthly recurring basis. We charge every full moon.
Oh dear. Which moon though? Because some of them are like once every 3 days.
That's for you to find out.
You fuck. Anyways,
Well, there'll be other solutions, but we'll cross that bridge after we deal with the druidic cult.
Zidane will say, well, for the short term, dealing with the druids, or the singular druid, I think is the most important. And then Galaran, whatever the army is doing, and of course
Ooh.
the mother.
We do carry some silver. We have some silverware, some silver pieces, some silver bullets. Or not bullets, silver balls, bearings.
What?
I think there's some spells that require that specifically, weirdly enough.
Silver, I think there's
Yeah.
silver powder. Powder
Yeah. I don't
have
silver,
any
I think
silver
it's
So
Oh, yeah.
any like
Holy water.
material component you would carry.
That's a good idea, though.
Oh, yes, let's put the silver inside of the potentially infected paladin.
Yeah, exactly.
What could go
Fusion
wrong?
of silver.
the more.
The more.
Slaps the ball while chatting with Alton. Why, Alton, old chap.
Tally ho, what?
He slaps Alton. Alton takes 50 damage.
Alton.
Answer.
Evian be typing something.
Click it, click.
Okay, I got a super
Sorry,
dumb
sorry.
idea. So, the talisman, right? How we can't really read it. Could I cast comprehend languages on it and see what happens?
There's no writing on it. It's
What?
just...
Oh, just
You
scratch
are
marks.
more
You're
than
right.
free to cast comprehend languages.
You're right. It's just scratch marks, not really a language. So
This
never
is
mind.
the part of the campaign where everyone burns their spell slots and then finds out, oh no, we've been attacked halfway through.
Are we going back to where you tried to shoot messages to a bird?
Oh dear.
I think that it's technically a magical item key, and if I understand correctly, I think that you have to have like proficiency in the tools in order to use them.
No idea what that is.
It's a Tasha's or a Xanthar's item, I believe,
It's basically a spell scroll, but
in tattoo form.
Yeah, that's really what it is.
Yeah, it is a wondrous item, so it is not a material component. So, yeah, currently the Amazon bag does not sell like wondrous items or magical items of that nature. It literally sells anything that would be classified under a material component for a spell. So it's kind of like for sundries of sorts for getting those items that you would normally have to frequent random shops to find. But for magical items and those kind of natures, that's going to be from vendors and exploring and all that jazz. Currently, the bag might get updated to incorporate access to magical items. But
We have to subscribe to the next tier.
to Amazon Prime, of course.
You
Make
get a
yet another deal
free-
with another devil. Because, hey, that's where this campaign is
the,
going.
Amazon locker and potentially a portable cargo unit
Never
with an
know.
insurance policy.
Oh shoot, what was her name? What was her name?
Who?
The woman who gave us the bag. Shoot.
Mara.
The succubus or tiefling.
Mara.
No, it wasn't Mara.
This-
Hang on.
What was the succubus's name? Zerg?
Oh, from the original bag. Oh, wait a minute.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, it was actually
Oh.
succubus. I just realized how ironic that was. It was a succubus.
Yeah. She was a
Holy
tiefling,
crap.
right? I don't remember her name.
She was a tiefling.
To
No,
the
she was a.
Quinn. Found it in the notes.
Yay.
Quinn, the betrothed of Gorvin.
Oh, I forgot that detail.
I do remember. Hold on.
We just need to find Quinn. She's an Easter egg hidden within the world. Every time we find her, we can upgrade the bag, but she's hidden in.
Like that
Off the
annoying
beaten path.
MMO RPG thing back in the old vanilla WoW. You had to go to Alterac Valley 50 different times to upgrade your Thunder Fury Blessed Wind Blade to the.
Did somebody say Thunder Fury? Blessed Blade of the...
All of us WoW nerds laugh.
Yep.
A joke that surprisingly still never seems to get old, despite how many times it's told. Anyway.
Anywho, so
But yes, so currently the Amazon bag is just for the magical components. So, like, stuff to cast spells or create spells, or the materials needed to create spells or spell slots, or even potentially some potions, it'll have access to. I can, like I said, it's a work in progress that we can upgrade potentially to include access to certain magical items of certain values, but hadn't gotten that far as like testing out to see how it plays out with just the flow of the world of being able to just pull a magic item out of a bag.
Dear
we'll see.
Amazon, I would like a holy hand grenade. Thank you.
You can expect it in 5 to 8 delivery days. Would you like it primed or unprimed when it comes out?
Your current your service tier only provides it in primed mode.
But we do provide a courtesy shout of duck.
It's like the Bioshock things, your vendors, when you accidentally poke it too much and it stubs a grenade out. Oh.
Anyway.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's really much else to ask from Saul at this point.
Yeah. Andros at this point has spun around and tetchily staring out the window into the fog.
As I'm looking over to do I know what the heck happens to the Spectre afterwards? Vanishes into the afterlife. Okay. So I know the time is limited before you go to the time beyond. Is there anything else you want to tell us before that happens?
Get bent. Sorry.
He's not spacey, AT&T.
I wish to tell you nothing.
Except bite my shiny metal ass.
That's right, because he's bound to my command. He doesn't like it. Got it.
It's the Spectre. He is compulsed to answer your questions, but he does not have to say a word if he does not wish to, which, I mean, most captured spirits usually don't say a word.
I mean, so he's nice enough to at least tell stuff.
He's
He's
only
compulsed
telling us
to.
stuff because he's probably convinced we're all gonna die if we try going up against Course. Let's be honest.
He is compulsed to do so because you are asking him questions.
Gotcha. I see. Well, I guess it's time for a good night's rest then, and guess we still have a town to save.
Hello?
Yes, sir. How much would you like?
Could I please have 20 gold piece worth of silver powder? And can I get holy water out of this thing?
Technically, it's a spell component for some spells.
I don't think holy water is a spell component.
I believe it is. Let's see if I can find one.
There is a spell or two that uses holy water as a
Well, then
component.
Amazon should sell it to me.
Let's see. What requires holy water as a...
I'd have to look. There's maybe one spell that does.
Oh,
I'd have to look.
okay.
It's like a first level spell.
Excuse me, 25 gold of powdered silver. Thank you, Zidane.
Granted,
Is
I would
a
have to burn.
Flask.
Oh,
First level
protection
spell.
from good and evil.
Okay, then yes, he does sell holy water. Much to their disdain.
Alton looks around sheepishly. Can somebody spot me for the holy water?
So you buying the powdered silver and the holy water, or just the holy water?
I can give 25 GP for the silver.
We still have party funds somewhere, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know how much the holy water goes for.
I think it's
So
25.
So according to the spreadsheet, we have 835 gold in group storage.
Yeah, holy water is 25 per.
Yep, per flask. Yes, vile stuff we sell.
I have.
You sure
that
you don't
much
want
gold
some
left.
human blood or goat blood?
That's hilarious.
What? What kind of bag is this? Who am I talking to? Can I have your supervisor?
You really don't want to talk to him, sir.
I think I do. Now I'm
Oh,
curious.
please no.
Alton,
Jesus Christ.
Now I'm curious.
Alton, we have more important things to worry about.
Oh,
Sir,
fine.
He's
would you
whispering
like
in a
to make a
bag, you don't
direct
hear this.
communication with Mamazon, Lord of the Infernal Plane of the whatever level of hell he
You're
is?
just making that up. I could tell.
Oh dear.
God, man.
I like we can easily get goat blood.
Oh my God, no!
Even Absence thoughts is that evil. Wait, I have one burning question. Still alcoholic goat cheese? Yes, no.
Yeah, I got pretty hammered on it
Yeah.
before the battle.
Yeah,
I
Alton.
mean, like, but now, you know.
Oh, you're not getting any.
That's not.
You're on probation, sir.
Seriously, like we're gonna give you some of the cheat. Exactly. See.
Fine.
Cheese
I'll
for the good
shit
people.
myself.
No, you
Fine,
won't.
hiding it.
myself.
Hiding it for later.
Sun-dried grapes. What?
Don't think that's a spell component.
I mean, you get sunflower seeds for a cell component.
I can check, sir. I don't think we have that.
Well, just the holy water then.
Okay, he pulls out a long, or you kind of like hear him shuffling about. I have to go get the tongs for this one. Ugh.
Just about to ask if his hand was smoking when he brought it out.
Yeah, it's not his hand that extends out of the bag, but you see those like kind of like, long, firing, like the tongs you'd use to like kind of stoke a fire, like extending it out. That'll be 27 gold.
Alton looks around.
We've got the party funds. Just take it out of the party funds.
Don't look at me.
Okay. It apparates in his hand and he pours it in the bag. I don't know. There you go,
Wait,
little
wait.
fella. Oh,
Someone is carrying this bag, surely.
well, that's what I'm. Yeah.
Did we leave it on the ship?
No,
thought everyone was
we
carrying
would
the bag.
never have left it on the ship. That's crazy talk.
No, we wouldn't leave that bag of money on the ship.
Yeah, it's either in
Maybe key.
Evian's, it's even in Evian's hands or in Anders'
Yeah.
hands. I don't care who.
Yep, I'm good with that.
Morg
Okay.
secretly has it now.
Either one. So we pay the nice Amazon representative
Yeah.
and
Thank you, and thank you for using Amazon.
yeah. Okay. Bye. Slap.
Please come again for
Yeah,
all of
shut
your
up.
sundries and wizardly
quiet.
and sorceress.
Be quiet,
and
quiet in there. Quiet.
Sir, could you take a brief survey of our service through
God
Amazon?
damn it! This thing, get it out of it. It's like trying to hand it off to somebody.
Just close the damn bag.
I did. It keeps talking. He hits it a little bit. Alton hits a little bit. Stop it. Quiet.
You sure this won't cover damage to the Amazon back?
Well, I think it's safe to say that we have a long day tomorrow. I think we can all use a rest.
I could stay up a little longer and talk to the villagers, see what they want, but I don't think it takes everyone to do that unless you want to stay up.
I think that I'm going to go to sleep.
Yeah, that'd be reasonable.
Who's keeping an eye on Mr. Trustworthy here?
Well, clearly it's going to be the Spectre. It's going to watch me all night.
I mean, absent
I mean-
thoughts, you can bunk with me. Worst comes
Sure.
to worst, I bite you or something, if it's something, you know,
Yeah,
Well,
guys,
that'll help.
Antlers,
sort of a joke.
Antlers is watching him, so he's basically sleep in the same bed anyway.
Woof.
Yeah, and I guess I'd prefer not having a second person with a potential curse. Of
Really,
that
what you
kind.
prefer doesn't matter any shit right now, so.
I am going to burn 20 points of lay on hands on myself. Just cause.
You should use your lay on hands daily.
I don't know
I
if we
mean-
ever actually tied him. He said that he was coming willingly. I don't think we ever got that far.
No,
was
he just got manhandled by Thamor.
Yeah.
Absinthoss is always within reach of Thamor, so, you know.
As long as Absinthoss casts a shadow, he is within reach of Thamor.
So if I eat the beans, that makes me not cast a shadow.
Damn.
That's
Oh,
You have
th-
to
well, no.
avoid
Well,
the
then
other-
you would be my enemy, and then you would die.
The holy
Avoid-
phrase.
Hold on. For which part? For eating the bean or not having a shadow? Which part is the part that interesting one?
The bean.
have to avoid the 99,999 other effects.
Evian says, Thamor, can you do me a favor?
Seymour puts down the cup of beer he's drinking and looks over. If you're asking me to stand guard the entire night, I will not.
I could lock him inside the sanctuary or one of the rooms.
Does this place have a basement? Or a cellar?
Roll me an investigation if you're gonna look around for it.
Yes, I'll take you. Roll me an investigation.
Are you doing that while you're being asked questions by Evie? You're just wandering around like
Yep.
we're just completely ransacking this place.
That's,
It's
that sounds right.
Hey,
honestly.
Thamor! Can you lock us in?
Come on. All right then.
Oh, for God's sake.
Even when Salty rolls for him, it's still fucking
Yes.
amazing.
You look around, like kind of again answering questions. You're just apparently just drinking this guy's place dry, and
Yep.
there's a trapdoor leading to a cellar beneath the sleeping Bessie and the owner.
For all he knows, shit-faced as he is, he'll probably wake up and think that he did all that himself.
There's a cellar here. We can stick you into it and stick these soup back on top of it. I have a feeling they won't be awake anytime soon.
Whatever. Evian says he's watching him. She thinks that's best.
Hey Zidane, this silver was for you. You want to take it and give me 25 gold?
Here, this stuff that you didn't ask for is for you. Pay me back, please.
Yeah.
You might also be a
Sure.
werewolf who can't touch silver.
I mean,
Why do you think I'm trying to get him to take
I
it?
know, I know.
Jesus.
do you want me to touch it with my bare skin or something?
Oh, are you afraid of it?
Not particularly.
Alton,
Okay.
are you being intentionally antagonistic?
No.
He's gonna
He
start
always
working his glove off of the bit arm and just puts it palm up.
Just call it a hunch, but Elton takes a pinch and, puts it in his hand and just to see if anything happens. So anything happened to his palm, Salty?
Nope.
Okay.
Ah.
Well,
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
no, it's fine. I had a sneaking suspicion that it wasn't really gonna go that way. It didn't really seem like, well, not that I've seen any werewolves really, but boy, that sure didn't seem like a werewolf to me. I don't know. But anyway, so I do want you to have this though. So here.
Right. I can definitely
And-
reimburse you.
Yeah, and also I'm like literally out of money. But
Wow.
that's during the session. Yeah. I don't know. I bought a lot of stuff.
Zidane just stares incredulously.
Do you feel any different than the end of the fight? I mean, once the adrenaline wears off, do you feel sick? Does the arm feel weird?
GM, is there something I can do to take stock of myself?
I mean, just kind of general feeling. I mean, apart from the standard feeling of exhaustion and pain from the searing, damage of Zariel and the bite, you don't feel any different at the moment.
I need to actually look at my arm. It's kind of difficult to pierce through the sleeve, but I feel fine.
You just throw him off like a sack of potatoes.
Sorry, Zidane. Go ahead.
Yeah, he just says, "Oops, I don't feel any. Just tired, and of course it aches a little bit."
Yeah. Okay. Well, did you ever get healing? Or out of character?
He laid
I
on hands
did.
himself.
I got 13 from Arani earlier, and I just did lay on hands a little bit.
So is it all better or?
No, I'm at 33 out of 73.
Well, let's cast something to fix you
We're
up a
about to
little more.
long rest, guys.
Yeah, we're about to long rest. This is
I
hardcore.
cast lightning bolt and down him before we go to sleep.
Oh no.
Wow. Okay. So
And then
I am
ultimately will heal him after, so he feels.
I am actually curious as to whether he can fully heal, which is why I'm going to do this.
Oh, go for it.
I mean, does anybody have enough healing to get him back up to full at this point? He's still like 50 under.
Zidane does.
I have 15 of lay on hands.
Nope, you've got more.
What do you mean? Oh wait, that's right.
It's
I have
5
the,
times level, isn't it?
Sparky.
You have Aura of Life, which gives you your Constitution modifier back once every round or once every turn for a minute. Your Constitution modifier is either +2 or +3. That's like 20 or 30 healing, not including the 1d8 plus whatever that heals initially.
Yeah, that thing.
You've got a ridiculous amount of healing that you never use.
What is that one? It needed to be edited a little bit, didn't it? From
Yeah.
last session.
Well, I think I worked with Trey a bit to fix that up as well.
Yeah.
It's just basically you can't have it. The big thing is you just can't have it like stacking with itself.
I think we basically came to the conclusion that it will work essentially like Death Ward. As long as you have more than 1 hit point, you will recover the Constitution mod per turn. If you do get dropped to 0, it will bring you back up to 1, and then it will fade. So it's like a mini regeneration plus a tiny death ward essentially for that minute, which still makes it very strong, but it won't be just keep popping you back up every turn.
And +2 times 10 is 20, so that's 29. And he just taps on his necklace idly. Both Zerg and also Zidane are sandbagging. Oh, good lord! It's 1 o'clock.
Yeah, I was about to say it's a good place to call. I was just gonna let you guys finish up any loose ends with your characters you want to do. But I figure we can do some any quick RP the start of next session as far as if anyone's staying up or doing anything during the night. Otherwise, you are free to stay in this tavern to sleep, or you can use Zidane's sanctuary as well if you want to rest there.
Yeah. Andros is still irked enough that he'll stay up and take at least the first watch. And at some point, an hour or two later, he'll come back and bump somebody else and get them doing a watch. But
Yep, I'll shift with Andros. Take a watch.
sorry.
Oh, phrasing.
the sext engine? What?
Oh no.
For the good of the party.
I will take one for the team. I do not do this duty out of any sort of personal
pleasure.
amusement. Although on that note, Marani, would you mind helping me out of my armor? I don't think I can bend the arm that was bitten very well.
Yes, of course. Do you want to do that here, or do you want to go?
Get a fucking room.
Andros, shut up.
Birds flipped.
Slight brightening of blushing Yanti. I suppose, if you don't mind, a room?
Yeah, let's go. She just gives a pointed look to Andros as they walk off.
For the first time in the night, you see a smile on his face. A very much shit-eating grin, unsurprisingly.
You see a trace of a smirk as she walks away.
We have a use of suggestion.
Wait, for who?
Andros.
Uh-huh.
I believe that Evian is typing something, but if there's nothing else you want to do, Reyna,
Yeah, no, that's. I mean, we don't have to roleplay taking off your armor. That would be a little awkward.
Oh, baby.
I'm gonna stop recording now.
You're the one who did the first one, Trans, okay?
No, we've got Evian and Afterthoughts descending into the cellar. Marani is helping Zidane take off his armor, and yeah.
This is the Amazon Prime section of the video. This is exclusive members only content. It's 18 plus.
This is.
Please enter your credit card number now.
This is for the paid subscribers.
If you would like to unlock this content, please contact your local Amazon Prime representative.
This is
You
tier
can-
5 on only
Okay,
dungeons.
bullet portal.
Uh,
You can